Welcome VIPs! This video is especially for you. If you are new to our VIP membership, or if you just haven't had a chance to set up your vendor profile, we are going to be going through that process step by step. But first, let's talk about the vendor directory and why it's important to set up your profile. The vendor directory on DFW Craft Shows is where we display all our VIP vendors. Everybody has a profile where their business information is displayed, and shoppers can use the directory to browse by category or by location or by searching for specific items whenever they're looking to support a small business. There are a few steps that you have to take with your profile before your business will start rotating in the vendor directory, our social media promos, and in our newsletters, which is why we're going to step through that process right now. You can go into the profile screen a couple of different ways. One is by clicking this icon here, and another by going to the drop down and clicking profile. So if we click the icon, it will take us to our profile page where we will want to go to this gear and select edit profile. Your profile may look different from mine depending on where you are in the setup process, but we're going to be starting from scratch today and just going through it one step at a time. So the first piece of information that you can add onto your profile is a cover photo. The cover photo is not required, but it is just a nice big space to help advertise your business. So you can click this plus button here, and it will bring you to a screen to upload your photo. You can click upload to go onto your device and sort through your photos to figure out which one you want, or you can drag and drop, if you already have your file ready, into this box. These little blue squares on the edge here are handles on the crop screen. So you can grab one of these handles and adjust it to how you want your image to be displayed. Since I want the whole image to appear, I'm just going to pull these handles all the way out and click apply. Okay, so there we have our cover photo. Nice. So one of the most important parts of your vendor profile, in order to get it rotating in the vendor directory, is a profile picture. Your profile picture can be a picture of you, a picture of your logo, whatever you want to represent your business. We can load up here, and then it will be cropped into this circle like you're seeing. So I'm going to click on the camera and then click upload photo. I do have an avatar photo that I use on the website a lot, so I'm going to try pulling that in here and seeing how that looks. Okay, so now we've got a profile picture. If you don't have a specific photo that you're wanting to use there, you can upload any kind of product picture or group shot and then just crop into it the space that you want to be displayed. If you do have an issue with selecting the image, one thing to be aware of is that there is a file size limit to the images that you can upload here. So if your image is too large, you may need to choose another image or save it into a slightly lower resolution. The next section that we're going to be working on is this little description box. So that's area to give folks an introduction about you or your business or the types of products that you sell. So I'm just going to put a little blurb in here about DFW Craft Shows and move down to business name. Some of these fields will already be filled out based off of what you put in when you were going through the checkout process. But since we're starting from scratch here, everything on my end is going to be empty. So I'm going to be filling out this profile just as our kind of household crafting profile. So some of the things that we like to make in our home would include art, let's see, plushies, and I'm going to go with paper crafts. You can select up to 3 categories. So if you decide later, like, no, art maybe didn't fit me as well as, I'm going to go with food so I can showcase the sugar cookies that we make. So you can choose whichever 3 categories you feel like fit you the best. And then you're going to enter your location and give your business a phone number if applicable. If you don't want people calling you, obviously you have the option to just leave the phone number empty. The location is important though, because people will search the vendor directory based on location, looking for small businesses that might be closer to them. Down here is an optional field where you might enter in upcoming events, you might enter in sales information, any kind of update that you want to give people whenever they're looking at your profile. If you can't think of anything or you're not really wanting to update this field often, you can just choose to leave it blank. Moving on to the next section here, we have our product gallery. So you can add up to 6 different product images onto your profile, and you're welcome to change those out whenever you want. You can update them, you can swap them between seasons, or you can just pick 6 photos that you feel like generally represent your business and keep those 6 photos on the profile. So you're going to upload those images by clicking Add Image. And similarly to how we set up the profile picture and the cover photo, we can either click here to navigate to a folder location on our computer or to select something from our gallery on our phone, or we can just drag and drop an image into the box, like so. Your product photo is going to be pulled up here, and once again, you can use these little handles to crop it whatever way you would like, but keep in mind that all of our product photos are going to be cropped down to a square. So you will lose the edges. You want to pick photos that you feel like you could crop the center nicely. So here we go. And then we can click here and add another image. So while I'm adding these photos, you can notice that this ratio is just going to be about the same as it would be if you were loading something up onto Instagram. If at any point you feel like you want to swap out the images, you can click the X here, or you can go down to change photo. Like I mentioned before, you can upload up to 6 photos, and I always like to use all opportunities available to advertise our work, so I'm going to go ahead and upload all 6. A lot of these are crafts that we've done together as a family, or things that my daughter or my son have made on their own. So for this one, I'm going to try cropping it in and just really highlighting this frog here in the middle. Okay, just a couple more to go. Okay, so now we have all of our profile pictures entered into our vendor profile. Before we close it out, we're just going to take a minute to come down here because this is also a pretty important part of your vendor profile. You want people to be able to see examples of your work, but you also want them to know where else they can find you, follow your information, or make purchases. So make sure that you take a moment to include your website here. And that HTTPS is going to be important in validating the link. So make sure you include that part. Then you can include a link to your Etsy. You can include a link to your Facebook page, your Twitter page, and your Instagram. And then once we're finished, everything looks good, we're going to hit Update Profile. All right, so here's the profile that we just built together. You can see the links to our Facebook and Instagram page. Here's our website right down here. All of our contact information, that little blurb that we wrote, all of our product photos, and then the links where people can continue to follow us or find more information, make purchases, whatever you're wanting to include down here. Now that your profile has at least a profile picture, a description, and a product photo, it can start rotating in the vendor directory. It can also be added to the queue for our VIP social media promos, which I'm sure you've seen go out on our Facebook page, in our Facebook group, and on Instagram. And don't forget about the vendor spotlights and our newsletters. These promos are a great way to get your business in front of our followers. So take a moment to make sure your profile is completed. We want to put your business in the spotlight where it belongs. Okay, so let's check out the vendor directory. All of the VIPs in the vendor directory are populated randomly upon the page load, so you don't always know where your business is going to show up, but it gives everybody a chance to be up on the front page. And here we can see our profile here. we just walked through the process of filling out your vendor profile, and I'm hoping that you feel a lot more confident about putting all of your information into your own profile and getting it out there in our vendor directory through our social media promos and in our newsletters. If you run into any problems or you have any questions while you're working on your profile, please do not hesitate to reach out. I am more than happy to walk you through the process and answer any questions that you might have.